Hi everybody and welcome to another video. Today we are at Chinatown in South Korea and we're going to go all around this place and show you the best things to do when visiting here. From the many different Chinatowns that we visited, we've always found them to be an authentic experience and this was no different. We got here late afternoon around 4 o'clock and we were quite hungry, so the first stop we'll go to is for a bite to eat in one of the many restaurants you'll find in the area. We came on this trip with a lovely Da and Kwan, and there's our Fang, and as our food arrives, I'll ask everybody what they've ordered. What have you got? What food is it? What's this one?
Jjajangmyeon.
Jjajangmyeon.
Yes. Mashita.
Kwan, what have you got?
Jjamppong.
Jjamppong. And Fang, what have you got?
Same like that. Jjajangmyeon.
Dinner over with, we head back out onto the streets of Chinatown now to do some exploring. The dish that Da and Fang ate was called Jjajangmyeon, and you'll have to excuse my pronunciation if that's not correct. It's loved that much here that there's an actual museum dedicated to it. If you want to check out the museum, it's closed on a Monday, so just be aware of that, but it's open every other day from Tuesday till Sunday from 9 in the morning until 6 at night. I'm going to put the name of this street on the screen, simply because I don't know how to say it. And from here this will merge into another mural street called Jjajangmyeon Street, which I can say. And this rather fittingly is called Mural Street for a reason, and as you can see it's full of all these lovely murals that are glazed into the tiles along the wall. And just in case you're wondering what a mural is, it's basically just a painting that's applied to and made integral with the surface of a wall. These aren't just pictures stuck on the wall for decoration purpose, they do have quite a nice story behind them and I'll explain that a little bit more for you. The pictures show the story of two heroes from a historic novel based on the confrontation between Hangwu and Huifan from the fall of China's Qi dynasty to the unification of the Han dynasty. There are several characters, but the story centres on two characters, Hangwu and Yu Yang, and their confrontations. While focusing on the war between the two heroes, more fun is added with the appearance of various characters such as a schemer, a general, and of course a beautiful woman. As the war, which seemed to be in favour of Hangwu, ended in defeat, you can feel a sense of tragic beauty and learn a lesson through the victory of Fang, who was just a commoner. The battle between the schemer is also interesting, and the tactical confrontations between the rivals of Jiang Yang and Boomyoung and the trick-filled face-offs are interesting to read. The sad love story between Hangwu and Wu He still pains people's hearts today. The story inspires many artists and has been told continuously throughout works of art, like poems and Chinese operas. That was quite a nice story about the history of the paintings on Mural Street. And at the top of this street, down some steps, you'll find this statue, which is of Confucius, who's probably the most respected and admired philosopher in Chinese history. From here, we're going to head back towards the main street through this street, so I can take you to see some more cool places in the area. And along the way, I can tell you a little bit more about how this place came about. This Chinatown was created when Incheon Port was opened in 1883, and this area was designated as an extraterritorial area by the Qing dynasty in 1884. In the past, most of the stores sold goods imported from China, but now most of them are Chinese restaurants. Currently, the Chinese living in Korea guarding this street are the second and third generations of the early settlers. So they're not able to keep much of the traditional culture that the first generation kept. However, they do still stick to the Chinese way. These are some of the awesome colourful Chinese restaurants that have the traditional red lanterns hanging from the windows. And I like the look of this restaurant that much that I decided to use it as the thumbnail for this video. I'll walk you up and down these lovely colourful steps now, which have been fantastically designed and decorated, and is also a perfect place to grab a photo or two for your social medias. As day turns into night now, I'll walk you up these awesome steps, and as you can see, they're a real sight of beauty. You've just got to appreciate all the effort and hard work that's gone into making these look as good as what they do. And these steps are known as Sky Hill Stairs, and if you were to carry on walking up them, it'd lead you to the elevated Jjajangmyeon Gate. There's 4 gates in Chinatown, one at each end of the area. As you can see, it's not very busy here, and I've got no reference to go off if this place is normally this quiet, or not, or maybe if it was just the time of year that we come. But it was the same for most places that we visited. As you may have seen in our other videos, there wasn't many tourists here at all. This Chinatown was easy to navigate, and it's worth wandering through all the little alleyways where you can find those little eateries and shops you don't see in other places. There's not much chance of you getting lost here. You'll always come out at a bigger street that'll lead you to one of the gates, and we'll walk down this street now, which, as you'll see, has a mix of modern and traditional shops in it. If I'm being completely honest, would I recommend visiting here or not? I would have to say that depends on you as an individual and how much time you're allocating to visiting South Korea, as that will more likely be a factor if choosing to visit Chinatown or not. There can be an element in people's thinking that once you've visited Chinatown in one place, then you've seen them all, although I would have to disagree with that somewhat, in my opinion, as each Chinatown we visited has something different to offer, and for me I would certainly recommend to come here and visit, as it has a very different feel about it compared to everywhere else we visited in Korea, which was understandable because the majority of the people were Chinese or mixed Chinese-Korean as opposed to just Korean. And that being said, you could spend anything from an hour here to most of the day depending on what you'd like to do, and I know some people like to rush through things, whereas others like to take the time, but one thing's for sure, you'll certainly be able to capture some nice colourful pictures along the way. If you look at the end of the street now, you'll see those big 11-metre tall gates, and Chinatown, as I've mentioned, has a total of 4 of these gates, one at each end of the area, and this gate's called Junghwaga. And I'll put the name of the other 3 gates on the screen now as well for you, rather than trying to pronounce them. Now for the last fact of this video. And that is that in the late 19th century, the Chinese residents used to stand at the gate and offer prayers, and locals believed that the gate kept the ghosts at bay. That wraps it up for this video of Chinatown in South Korea. You can always hit that subscribe button and give that bell a ding if you want to come along to more places with us. We've got lots more videos coming your way. And from Chinatown to wherever you're watching, I wish you a great day, and we shall see you on the next video.